So let me talk to you real quick because every time that I post a photo, somebody always hits me up, Ron, why Fujifilm? Why not Canon? Why not Sony? Why not Nikon? Why not Leica? Why not full frame in general? So why not full frame and take it serious? And I laugh every time that I hear it because for me, Fujifilm is serious. So today I want to talk about Fujifilm and the ecosystem and why it fits my style for street photography and for my professional work as well. To extend that even further, it fits my entire creative flow. And to be honest, better than anything that I've ever used, and I've used most of it. So when you're out and about and you're shooting, you have your intended mission that you were sent on, and you go out to capture just that. So whatever you intended on capturing, you go out in that mindset. But I have a different approach when I'm actually hitting the street or whatever for street photography. There's a feel, there's something about whatever the scene or whatever that you're in that kind of takes, what you're going to do and what you feel. So I embrace whatever the moment is when I'm out and about. Fujifilm XC4 at night, shooting at f11. It's crazy work. Let's go. Fujifilm, it slows me down, and I mean that in like the best possible way. And not slow like holding me back, but slows me down as in making me present in the moment, which is when I get the most out of photography. Literally makes me feel like I'm part of the environment itself, and that's very important to me, the flow of what I'm doing when I'm out there. I'm out there on Beale Street and I'm capturing those in-between moments. My man. The dials, the feel, and the whole experience, it makes me feel like everything that I'm doing is intentional because I'm doing everything that I'm doing intentional. But even if that wasn't the case, it would force me to. So it works hand in hand. So it's almost like a companion when I'm out there. And the Fuji look, it gives that soul. You have all the film simulations, and the film simulations are not a gimmick. They are a complete part of the whole dynamic, which you can pick for whatever the mood is when you're out there shooting. So while there's no argument or debate that any camera in the modern day era can give you a good photo, but Fujifilm gives me that feeling that no other camera system has given me. The colors, the tones, the way that classic negative just hits different. The way that a cross just has a different character than typical black and white. And it's funny because I don't think Fujifilm was trying to make cameras where your memory card is full of JPEGs. I think they was trying to make a camera and an ecosystem fills your memory card with feelings, real feelings, and that's where they hooked me at. So when you look at a Fuji photo, it's something about it. It feels like something you've seen before. Something nostalgic, something real. And that's exactly what my whole photography style is about. I've said this before. Street photography is not just about pictures for me. It's therapy. I've said this before. Street photography is not just about pictures for me. It's therapy. It's the one part of my day that everything slows down and makes perfect sense. As chaotic as your days can be, whether it's dealing with work, stress of life, or just anything going on in general, photography for me is my therapy. It's my comfort zone. It's everything that's the relief part of my day. I don't want to spend my photography having to overthink things that are totally unnecessary or feel like everything that I do is part of work and stress. And with all of that being said, it just seems like Fujifilm is the perfect match for me, and it totally gets me on the streets. Most of the cameras are small and lightweight and discreet. People don't tense up around them. For me, it's just like I'm another guy with a camera, just walking, having fun, and not, with an entire production crew. And that's where they hook me at. So when you look at a Fuji photo, it's something about it, like something you've seen before. Something nostalgic. Something real. And that's exactly what my whole photography style is about. Street photography is not just about pictures for me. It's therapy. As chaotic as your days can be, whether it's dealing with work, stress of life, or just anything going on in general, photography for me is my therapy. It's my comfort zone. It's everything that's the relief part of my day. I don't want to spend my photography having to overthink things that are totally unnecessary or feel like everything that I do is part of work and stress. And with all of that being said, it just seems like Fujifilm is the perfect match for me, and it totally gets me on the streets. Most of the cameras are small and lightweight and discreet. People don't tense up around them. For me, it's just like I'm another guy with a camera, just walking, having fun, and not with an entire production crew because they're seeing this big camera with this gigantic lens on it. I can blend in with the environment, I can move a lot smoother, and I can capture the truth of a moment and not a staged version of it. Now, let me switch gears because I ain't just out here in the streets. I'm also out here shooting weddings, shooting portrait sessions, and events. Fashion, and Fujifilm handles all of that. And that's one of the other things about it. I can pretty much take whichever one of my Fujifilm cameras that I have, which I have two X-T5s, I have two X-T50s, and the XE4. Although for most of my real professional gigs, I'm usually using the Fujifilm X-T5. And what I like about that is I can take the street photography feel into a professional environment, and I can slap my small rig or grip on it just to add kind of a beefier feel to it, but I still have the tactical dial feel that it still feels like I'm combining both street photography into a professional setting, and I'm able to do everything that I need. So even though the X-T5s are my main professional work, I never go on a shoot without taking an X-T50 with me. And a lot of the behind the scene photos and stuff like that I get, and some of the actual photos from the events, even weddings, has come from the X-T50, and some of the best photos have come from that. I'm a firm believer in it really doesn't matter what you use. You need the basic knowledge to be able to use whatever you use. If you don't have the basic knowledge and the basic skills developed, you're going to have problems with whatever system that you use. I pretty much mastered Canon, Nikon, Lumix, Olympus, and Fujifilm in less than a year. And once I actually did trial and error based on every system that I've used, it really showed me how much I don't need what people say that they need. One of the best feelings that I've had is my clients complimenting my work, telling me I know how to make magic with the camera and make the camera talk and tell a story. That was one of the biggest compliments that I ever could have, to hear one of my clients talking to someone else about my work and referring me to somebody else because I shot an event and a wedding for them. A lot of times, especially in decent lighting conditions, 95 to 98% of my work, I don't even have to use the RAW files. And I do shoot JPEG and RAW, but that's only just in case of. But I haven't really did a session yet where I had to use the RAW files. I've used RAW files only because I do like giving alternate looks whenever I do an event, whether it be wedding or whatever. I like giving people alternate looks as an option, whether I'm using the 40 megapixel sensors or 24 or 26. It doesn't matter. Even when I went and got what's considered the top of the line, I still always have went back and got what was considered the less of version, 24 or 26 megapixels. But doesn't matter, and I love that sound. The sound, the look, this is one of the cameras that I simply had to go get. I had to go get. And before I got it, I tried the XE3 first, and that gave me the courage to go ahead and get the 4. I have fun just doing photography in general. I take a camera with me everywhere I go. I never leave the house without a camera. But Fujifilm just gave me a spark that I didn't have. So it added to my already over-enthusiastic feeling about photography, and it just allowed me to feel like a kid with a toy. Just by me loving photography the way that I do, there was never a situation where I felt burnout, but Fujifilm added a street photography feel in a professional setting. So I had that same enthusiasm going into a paid shoot because I had a system that just fit me and was just perfect for me. That's the thing that people don't understand when it comes about system. There's always something that you can complain about. There's always something that you can say is technically more tech better. But if it doesn't fit the photographer, what you're saying is irrelevant regardless of how many things on paper you can point out that is better. I'm shooting an entire docuseries with this one camera. And I wanted to take the whole minimalist approach, not carrying 25 lenses around, and I actually don't need to. This is the look that I want. This is the simplicity that I wanted. So when you see me on the streets, this is pretty much all that you're going to see me with. Unless I'm out and it's raining, then this will be subbed with the X-T5. But same lens, 27 millimeter. So when it's all said and done, my photography style does not chase perfection. My photography style chases the truth. I want my photos to be true to what I am and who I am, and I don't want to create something that didn't happen. So before we close this video out, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and follow this journey. I do want you to check out the upcoming docuseries. It's called Street Stories. It'll be dropping December 11th. Those were all my reasons why I choose Fujifilm. 100 out of 100 times. It's not about specs, because it simply just fits my style, my personality, and the way that I see the world. So even if you don't rock with Fujifilm, let me know what you're rocking with down in the comments.